the next buzzword that I always hear is a plant-based diet. So can you explain how excessive meat consumption, which is actually on the rise, even though we are hearing these kind of things, the meat consumption which is on the rise is helping fueling the climate change. Can you explain?
Yeah. So basically, like I said before, to basically said for meat consumption, you need to raise a lot of animals, right? And to raise a lot of animals, you need to have enough farmlands. And to have enough farmlands, you have to cut down forest. It's like in very simple terms, if I'm explaining to you, there's a certain amount of farmland that you need to have for animals for grazing, and then you need to have crops that you need to build for them, that you need to plant for them. So basically, by all this deforestation that is happening, with the because the meat consumption is rising, people need more and more animals. That is why more and more forests are being cut down as well. That is one of the primary reasons why we have a lot of emissions today, because of deforestation. And we might not think in India it's not really that big a problem, because we basically do not consume red meat a lot. But in all these Western countries where beef is one of the most common eaten forms of meat, it's really difficult to see that there are so many forests cut down just for building pastures, so that the cows can graze over there and they can be raised in a nice environment, and they would have like plentiful of food for themselves, so that you can raise them for beef purposes. So basically that is one of the things that is creating a lot of issue. Actually, the meat sector is one of, it creates like around, I think, approximately, it said like 1/3 or 1/4 of the entire greenhouse gas emissions that you see.
Fuel, I think. First is fuel,
Yeah.
second, fashion industry. That is one
Fashion industry.
thing.
Yeah.
And the third one is, I guess, the meat.
The meat industry, yeah, absolutely. It has constructs like almost 1/3 or 1/4 of the greenhouse gas emissions that we have today. And it's primarily because of deforestation. Many other reasons, like cows emitting methane. That is also one of the reasons. So the more cows that you raise and the kind of food that you give to them, they are one of the primary producers of methane as well. So that is also another factor. It is quite on a large scale. It's not like it's a very minuscule thing, but it does create a big impact as well. So this is basically why people are trying to switch to a plant-based diet. Even if you have like big pastures, now people are switching even to soy milk, plant-based milks, almond milk, rice milk, things like that. So even if you do like a small comparison, the amount of water that is required for a farm of soya is a lot less compared to the amount of water that you need to raise a certain number of cows. So you can imagine the difference that is being.
Any solution to this? You cannot drink a cow milk, you cannot drink a soya milk. People like, what I do?
Yeah, I know, exactly. See, I'm not saying that it's really, easy to switch your diet or anything, but definitely.
Like, I'm not doing anything. Forget about it.
Exactly. I know. No, that happens a lot, and it's definitely not easy to change your dietary requirements. It's very difficult. The least we can do is try and balance things out. In India, it's not that difficult to balance things out, because we basically have almost half of our population is vegetarian, basic. So, and we have a lot of.
I don't know how, but
Yeah, I mean, see, because we have so many people who basically are vegetarian, and it's been going on for generations and ages now, and we have a lot of choices and options. If whenever I spoke to people over here, they thought that being vegetarian was such a big thing, because they had to transition into it, because they traditionally eat a lot of red meat like beef and pork and chicken, which is not the case in our country. We originally have a lot of options, so we can obviously, it becomes a little easier for us to transition to these plant-based diets. There are people over here who are now adapting to Indian and Asian other sorts of diets, so that they can consume more vegetarian food. I'm not promoting any sort of diet over here, but I am vegetarian myself, so I know that exactly. I mean, so I don't feel that I have been left out, or I don't feel like I miss anything because I haven't had meat in my life, like ever. So
That's some another discussion that veg versus non-veg thing. But
yeah, exactly. That's why I can't like I can't comment on how people feel when they have to change their dietary requirements. But if it is possible and if it is something that you can do, it's within your power, it's definitely a good thing to do that because it definitely does create a large amount of emissions. And there's this thing called a carbon footprint for every individual. So your carbon footprint is basically dependent on the amount of emissions that you generate from your day-to-day activities. And meat consumption creates a huge amount of carbon footprint. So to
I was
basically
reading
reduce,
about that
yeah.
report about Amazon rainforest. So
Mhm.
what they said was that they are building the rainforest, they are making the farmland, but that farmland is also not for producing fruits and vegetables. That farmland
Mm.
produce soybean, because those cows
Okay.
can be fed on those that soya. So that
Yeah.
what we can say, whatever is going to farm, that is not even from
Mhm.
people; it's for those cows.
Exactly. It's for those animals.
Still shocked to hear 42% of US farmland is used to produce things that cows eat, not humans eat.
Yeah,
42,
exactly.
half the country's farmland is used for that. So,
Exactly. Because people eat those cows. They don't need to eat anything that's coming off the farmlands.
the scale of this problem.